the sensitive issue in modern Chinese society. The growing number of unmarried men and women, often labeled as leftover men and leftover women. It highlights the paradox. Although there are significantly more men than women in China, many women still remain unmarried and both genders struggle in the marriage market. Demographic mismatch versus social expectations. The article rightly identifies a striking contradiction. Statistically, with 32 million more men than women, one might expect most women to find it easy to marry. But the problem is not purely demographic. It's social and psychological. Men struggle due to lack of wealth or social capital, especially in rural areas. Women struggle because many refuse to marry down and hold out for men with high income, education, and status. This creates a gap where average men are overlooked, and many women aim for a tiny group of elite men, most of whom already have plenty of options. Marriage as a transaction. The commentary suggests that marriage in China has become highly materialistic, especially for men. Success is often measured in terms of income, housing, or car ownership. Bride prices, gifts, or money given to the bride's family, are rising rapidly in rural areas, pressuring men to meet financial expectations just to be considered marriage material. On the flip side, in cities, the problem flips. Men may be relatively better off, but women still find it hard to match with someone they view as worthy. Unrealistic female expectations? The passage argues that many women's expectations are unrealistic for height, income, and education. For instance, wanting a man over 1.75 m tall, earning 10,000 yuan a month, and with a degree from a top university severely narrows the dating pool. But this isn't just about women being too picky. It reflects a wider social value system that glorifies elite men and undervalues average ones, while also placing immense pressure on women to marry up. The cognitive bias framing. The idea that leftover women have a cognitive problem may oversimplify things. While some women may hold out for idealized partners, others may delay marriage due to career independence or simply not prioritizing traditional roles. This label risks blaming women for being unmarried, while ignoring the systemic pressures, gender imbalances, and evolving values that influence their choices. The situation described is a classic social trap. Average men are rejected for not meeting rising standards. High-quality men are few and quickly matched. Women don't want to settle but also can't reach the top tier. Both genders feel stuck. As traditional family expectations clash with modern individual desires, China faces a structural marriage imbalance that's not just about numbers. It's about values, economics, and evolving identities. A complex shift in modern relationships. The data presented paints a vivid picture of how China is rapidly entering a super-single era, with over 300 million unmarried individuals projected by the end of the year. That's not just a social phenomenon. It's a seismic cultural shift that touches economics, education, gender roles, and personal identity. One of the central arguments is that rising female education and urbanization are key drivers behind the decline in marriage rates. The data shows that educated women, especially those with bachelor's and master's degrees, are significantly less likely to marry. Why? Because higher education brings economic independence, a greater self-awareness, higher standards for life partners. This is a positive development in many ways. Education has empowered women to no longer see marriage as their only or even primary life goal. However, it also contributes to a growing mismatch in the dating market, as many educated women find it difficult to find men they consider their equals or superiors in terms of education, income, and life goals. The urban-rural divide and cultural gaps. The reluctance of educated women to return to the countryside underscores a cultural and economic gap that's widening between urban and rural populations. Marriage is not just about love. It's also about social compatibility, and many women do not want to make lifestyle compromises after working hard to build a modern, independent life in cities. This deepens the marriage crisis, particularly in rural areas where eligible bachelors abound but often lack the economic or social appeal to attract urban women. Capital and media have played a role in inflating standards for both lifestyle and partner selection. Women are told they deserve the best, which can empower but also mislead. It's not uncommon to see women under 30 demand partners with annual incomes of 500,000 plus yuan, heights over 1.8 meters, prestigious educational backgrounds. While people have the right to seek what they want in a partner, such idealized checklists rarely match statistical reality, creating a market where few men can meet these expectations, and many women feel perpetually unsatisfied or left behind. The changing perception of marriage, from a social obligation to a personal choice, is reshaping society. Marriage no longer guarantees security or happiness. In fact, for many women it appears to reduce their career prospects, bring health risks due to childbirth, create social pressure without guaranteed emotional support. Given these risks and the ability to live comfortably alone, why should they marry? A global trend with local impacts. This trend isn't unique to China. Japan, South Korea, and parts of Europe are experiencing similar demographic transitions. But for China, the sheer scale of the numbers makes the problem urgent. The economic consequences could be severe. Shrinking birth rates, aging population, reduced labor force, strained social services. Final thoughts beyond blame. To reduce the issue to women are too picky, or men aren't good enough, misses the bigger picture. What's unfolding in China is a profound societal transformation, where traditional institutions like marriage are being re-evaluated under the pressures of modern life. Solving this super single crisis will require more than just matchmaking events. Educational reform, social support for work-life balance, a cultural shift in how both genders view relationships, family, and self-worth. What do you think? Is China headed toward a lonelier future, or a more independent one? Does the end of traditional marriage mean the end of family, or the start of a new kind?